But again, that is part of planning. Diet, I've got a dietitian in Milan that is following me and sending me all the diet requirements. I used to have something very repetitive, which then you get bored of. Now it's a lot more diverse, so it's very difficult to get into the details of what I take, but it's more carbohydrates, especially once race day are coming. Our weight fluctuates a lot throughout a week of racing, because you get the Friday before the practice, driving practice, and you're quite heavy because there you ate a lot of carbohydrates. That takes the water. You drink a lot of water. You need to be well hydrated. But then we go through extreme heat inside the cockpit, so you lose so much water, and in some races you can lose up to 3.5-4 kilos of water, which is very difficult then in the 1 or 2 days after to recover from that. Yeah, this is super important, the hydration plan and the dietitian plan, in order to be fully on it throughout the weekend. And then physically, it is a very strange sport in a way, because there are muscles that no the sports really use, which, especially the neck, by example. The neck is probably the hardest part to train properly, because it's full of little muscles that you don't use, and that is very difficult to reproduce in a gym. So driving is basically the only training you can get for that, as much as you are trying with elastics to try and reproduce that. But it's very difficult. Whenever we get to the first day of practice in February after the winter break, you speak to all drivers, and at the end of the first day, they are all so tired, just because the neck is a very difficult one to use, but to train. But then lots of cardio training, it's super important. And another thing that is also difficult to train is the breathing techniques, because with the G-forces, sometimes it's very difficult to breathe normally. So we do a lot of apnea in the corners, but this is something that you get used years after years driving Formula 1 cars.
Yeah, wow.